Get yourself comfortable. You want to lie down, sit up, however you want to do it. And tune into what's happening in your body just right now. So there's whatever it was that you came in. If you were feeling pretty relaxed or tired or agitated, whatever it was. And then whatever my words about this might have stirred up as well. And take a few deep breaths and really settle into your body. Let yourself notice how you feel. And we might even start looking at the thoughts that are in the mind. You could start anywhere. We could start with the body, the breath, the mind. They're all one system anyway. But whatever it is that's most compelling to you right now. And if it was the thoughts, that might be something around, I'm frustrated that I'm not feeling better, that I'm still experiencing these symptoms. And in the body, that might show up as some kind of tension or agitation or whatever it might be. I always start by noticing what is here. And notice if you can welcome or at least accept what it is that's here. So, not here in the sense of over the last several years, even just like right now in this moment, however it is that you're feeling, could you welcome that? And if welcoming is too strong of a word, maybe could you accept that this is how you feel right now? Then let's go down into the body and notice what's happening in your body. Be aware of that whole space that your body's in, your body's occupying. And when we're aware of what's happening in our body, there's something that's aware of the body. We're also aware of our being, of the witnessing or observing that's happening. But we're aware of the body and what's happening in our body. And there's many ways that we get out of our body that we aren't wanting or aren't ready or aren't able or something to experience this moment. And some of it is habit of the mind. A lot of it is that we're never trained to stay present. Much of it is that it's uncomfortable or we feel helpless or powerless, especially as children, and we've learned to mentally leave the room. And some of it is that we can tune into that unchanging, the feeling of peace. And that feels a whole lot better than being in our life and in our body. There's a lot of ways that this can work. Just right now, notice if you can be very present with whatever the sensations are in your body. And that would include sense perceptions like the feeling of air, the temperature in the room, the movement of your body with your breath. So, for a moment, letting thoughts move to the background, really noticing what are the sensations moving in the body right now. Sometimes sensations are quite intense, like a clenched jaw or a tightness through the back and shoulders, a black hole in the gut. There's all kinds of intensity that can be here. And other times it's a little bit more subdued or subtle. And whatever the energy is, notice where it is, notice what it feels like too. Any kind of intensity in the body, it's often very helpful to put some space around that energy, to let yourself notice the sensation as well as the space around the sensation. So, what we're looking into is there's some kind of frustration, some kind of feeling that something should be different than what it is. Should be a letting go of symptoms. We should be feeling better. We shouldn't have these old patterns or something like that. We're looking into to see what's there around that. And if this energy has come up or intensified, then maybe that energy knows something about that. There's some kind of a link or association there. So we're dropping down into the body. We're not thinking about the sensation in the body. We're just feeling into it, noticing it directly. And notice if we could be open to inviting that forward. Whatever it is, our body knows about this. And what does our body know that we could know? Can we just sit and breathe and notice the sensations in the body? And notice what pops into the mind. We're not thinking about it, we're just really noticing what comes up when we're attending to ourselves this way. If it's words or images, you could tap, use your two fingers on your forehead and just take your attention into the sound and sensation of the tapping. And only if you feel like you need to kind of reduce the intensity of the thoughts a bit. Otherwise, we could just sit and be aware of them. Oh, okay, this is what's happening there. Continue to stay very present in your body with your breath and the energy in your body. We notice if there's a resistance in terms of we've kind of turned away from ourselves or turned against ourselves, even. When we want something to be different, or when something's overpowering and we've exiled part of us or exiled our feelings or something, then there's that feeling of disconnection. And so, just for this next few minutes, especially for this next few minutes, could we really, really invite that in? I actually want to know what it is that's needing my attention, and that I'm not going to shut it down or be cruel or judgmental. I'm just really going to sit with it. I just really want to know. And with that intention, we just sit and see what comes up. And stay connected with your breath and with your being, with the stability of being the witness as well as the participant or the one who's feeling this. And if there's frustration or any kind of judging around this shouldn't have lasted this long or I shouldn't still feel this way, see if you could be kind, really kind with yourself that that's how you're feeling. This is the messiness of being human. We have all of this stuff going on, some of which is quite unwelcome. And what would it be like now to really open to it, just even for a few more minutes? Open to it in the body. Notice that we could allow the space for that to be there. We could attend to whatever it is that's here. Our nervous system, our primitive survival system, is quite instinctual. There's not a lot of sophistication there. So, in a way, it's like dealing with a child. And could we bring that child forward and reassure the child, reassure ourselves just through our attention? And if we have a history of judging ourselves or being impatient, then that's the experience that we've had. And so, could we let that soften? We're attuning to ourselves with compassion. And before we finish, maybe if you wanted to, you could put your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of your own hand. It's really difficult being a human being, and especially if we've had trauma in our early life, and especially if something's serious or there are things going on in our body, our health, our mental health that are not ideal, that are difficult. And whatever it is that our experience is, if we could just sit with that for a minute and allow that to be welcomed, give ourselves that support. And take a few deeper breaths. And this is something that we could look into again and again and again is, are we allowing, however it is, whatever it is that's going on, are we allowing that, welcoming it? This process of making friends with ourselves and being a support with ourselves is something that takes a while. There's so much momentum from the other direction. So notice if something's coming up around what you might want to take into the day, into the next little while of inquiry, or the way that you could support yourself. Ideally, we can get to this 100% acceptance of everything that's going on inside of us. We understand the patterns and how they arise. We understand our nervous system and the origin of a lot of this. And we're able to accept our humanity and that it's difficult and that we can be there for ourselves. And there's a really simple practice of what does the heart know? That's on my YouTube channel, and another one called attuned empathy, which would also be good to practice with. We'll edit this and put this up too, but just there's so many ways that we could tune in and notice when we're resisting ourselves, when we're judging ourselves or disconnecting somehow, and then coming back into this connection. When you're ready, open your eyes.